Definitely a lot of opinions being thrown back and forth in the chat, but I think in this case it should be fine. Now, note that Hambak has gone for the Poppy, and this is something we used to see all the time into stuff like Lee Sin, Wukong, etc. So
one of the best defensive junglers for the Zeri lanes in 2022 summer.
It's almost as if they saw this coming and they had a planned counter pick in the jungle for this, because Poppy in general is not a very popular pick nowadays.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought, because a lot of this draft for KT feels like it's fishing for a great scaling Zeri draft, right? Because you have Poppy, who can defend reasonably well against those ganks bottom side. You have Ryze that scales. You have a Jax that can buy time in the side lane. Jax into the Cassante has been, it's been kind of a skill-based matchup, right? We've seen it go both ways. Really about your counter-strike timings. Do you push too far? Do you get killed by the Cassante under turret? We've seen that surprisingly a lot, as the champion is still pretty new. And Cassante can dash, pull you in with the ultimate, ghost to make sure he can get behind you. Can be a very frustrating matchup to play as Jax, because you want to both push your lane advantage, but if you get too close to the turret and you die, you actually then give the advantage to the Cassante.
So
you ever just walk in?
You ever just walk into a brush, not know what's on the other side? Well, Rebel is
Pull
there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay, he is gonna heal and get away. So that's actually pretty nice for Rebel. I mean, not the entire situation.
Yeah, I mean,
but the
it
fact
could
that
be
he
worse.
only has to heal.
Where is Feisty? He's right here up the lane.
Who are these players? Well, Feisty, yeah, they're going to read the situation very well, as Lucid just waits for that, and he goes back in. That was insane, as Hambak's like, well, Poppy counters Lee Sin, and generally it can, but not if you use a little bit of a rotation down to the bottom side.
Hambak with a good read, but a little bit slow, and Pulpe's here to deny him.
Yeah, Hype has already taken a lot of damage, but Rahel takes 2 turret shots. Not gonna matter for Lucid. Gets in and gets out as Rebel. He wants to flash it oh so badly, but he will not. And man, Lucid is just so clean. This guy is insane.
Insane, man. I mean, I've watched so many of the Challengers games that he's played this season. This is our first time commentating him, though, and
oh. Well, Thanatos is going to face check that, as in goes Castle. And they are going to land the counter-strike this time, and he's just going to bring Castle in under the turret. The Q will miss this time, as now the Realm Warp will get Castle to safety.
And this is a very difficult fight for KT to win, because remember, Nami has ult here too. Like, Loopy can just say nope at any point in time. So if you're going to commit, you're going to have to commit hard, and it's not going to be an easy fight.
Well, they're going to knock away the Swain.
Now you can do it.
And oh, the Polymorph comes in. Lucid not able to get in there. The Steadfast Presence goes up, and then it goes down. In goes Lucid, straight into 4. Definitely not the angle he was looking for. Is now Hype. He's getting pretty hype. He's got a great angle here as Pulpe is trying to zone everybody away on the Swain single-handedly. He is doing a decent amount of damage, but he's all alone. And even with the stopwatch, I mean, he's not going to survive for long enough. So KT actually do take a nice fight.
Oh, we might have a pause here.
So he's probably on the right side, I guess? Like, I just wonder what the comms are like.
The comms are probably just hold the choke here, right? Because we have control ward on this brush, and even if Lee Sin comes through, we should be able to focus.
The choke. They give them a free entry into this one. They kind of knew where Lucid was. The Polymorph is good, and down he will go. But it might not matter as a massive Poppy ultimate. It's going to hit everybody but the Cassante, unfortunately. Hits 3 members away. And then was left with Cassante to go on before. And, a little bit too low on the health bars here. No Zeri on the side of KT. They're going to have to give this one away.
Pretty huge win here for D+, because we've talked about how good the Mountain Soul is for both teams, but the Swain is going to get so much value out of it if they can get the Soul, but even individual Mountain Drakes are going to be pretty nice for those extra resistances when the Swain becomes a... It's going to be Zeri left alone here, but a trap is set.
Yeah, Flank teleport coming in, but again, a lot used on the Swain here. The flank, not great, just kicked away. Pulpe actually in a bit of trouble. Has to actually flash away from this fight, even though a decent amount of damage was done to the KT backline. You can see that Lucid now looking for the angle. And keep in mind, that was a KT engage.
Yeah.
That was supposed to go better for them.
Yeah, they did not. I mean, they didn't actually execute any targets, and there's just so much damage. Even
didn't even know what an umlaut was before I met you. So. That's a nice little one. Feisty in a little bit of trouble, but that's where the Poppy gets a lot of value. Gonna knock down the Nami. Unfortunately, Hanbok went about 17 leagues too far, as now Polbey is unkillable. And Hype, gets the one kill, but is eventually going to go down here to Polbey. As Castle now alone trying to frontline against the Swain. Not going to go well for him, as insane amounts of damage coming out. And Polbey, again, unkillable. And in some of these messy fights and challengers, the Swain does look better than we have seen it in LCK.
Polbey's walking forward.
Baron. Well, this is not a drill.
This is not. I don't know about this one, Valdez.
Poppy's pretty good at stopping this. You see that
Can they get
not
out?
able to get into the pit. Can they get out is the real question. Take a look at Hype on the left side of the fight. That is the real key member here, as he's trying to back.
He backed right there.
Lucid's just trying to slow him down. He's like, I don't care if I die, I just don't want you to back. And Lucid might go down here. We'll see if he did his job, though, in keeping Hype around.
Here comes
Polbey.
Polbey.
He has, and he has survived. But can anyone actually kill Hype is the other question. As Lucid tried and he failed. As, yes, Hype will be baited, and he will eventually go down. And I say baited, I mean he didn't really have a way to get out. So nicely done by the side of DK. Feisty, the only one to hold on to the Baron buff. How this does go, Castle has got a nice angle for now. The damage out of Rahel is really, it's becoming an issue for the side of KT, especially because it's higher range.
KT got to go in.
Than what Hype can do. Hanbok in a lot of trouble. They are not supporting their Poppy right now, as he is nearly going down. A lot of damage, though, into the tank. As you see Feisty, look at the damage he's doing on the top side. He's nearly taken out Rahel already. Polbey on
Lucid?
below 20% health. As they're just trying to get into the pit here. Polbey does not have a Zhonya's, and down he goes to Castle. As, okay, they're trying to get on top of Hype here, who is in a bit of trouble, but he is Zeri. The kick comes out. And look at the Rahel, he can never even join the fight in this one. As KT are going to be able to take down the Drake and take down the fight in the end.
This is the first fight that really showcases the problems with the Swain and the Lucian together as a duo compared to the scaling damage here on the side of KT.
If they get Mountain Soul, they absolutely could still win this game.
And they're actually rushing in for this now. They've been able to break through this choke. Lucid has an angle here.
He's trying to go in there. Rebel nearly dies. He has been such an annoyance for Lucid, especially. Rebel, that is. And look at this. Polbey pops his ult, and KT are like, nah, brah.
Now that it's done,
We've had
guess
enough.
what?
Oh, no, that's the end of Loopy. A massive flash forward from Feisty, as they are looking to get on top of DK now. Lucid, no hope for him. DK, nope, there's no blue buff there, unfortunately for you, Lucid. So Mountain Soul denied. Another Mountain Drake for the side of KT.
I don't want to see any more Swain in my LCK or LCK Challengers games right now, Valdez. Nothing has changed with the champion on 13.1B, but he's still bringing them out. That's the end of that.
Yeah, that's the end of him. And Rahel has done a lot of damage in this game. It does not matter. Polbey trying to single-handedly, like literally single-handedly 1v5, tried to push them away, but now he does not have an ultimate to go off of. And Rebel has been so huge every single polymorph, and no difference here onto Polbey. As they're trying to push forward, it looks like the Baron buff has ran out just a bit. The tidal wave forward to try to delay their inevitable fate here. As okay, they did kick, and yeah, I was just too tanky. Down they will go, and we are going to a game number 3.
The 9-game night, still a viable option.
Still a chance. There's still a chance.
Honestly, Valdez, like we said in Game 1, KT's draft very good. Game 1 draft, they botched the win condition right off the bat, so we didn't even get to see it play out. This time, not so much. I loved the Poppy pick, right? Great into Lee Sin, great protection pick against those types of fights, knocking the Swain out of some of those early objectives, massive. And KT showed up with a clean plan today, and the Swain pick, it just looked totally weak outside of that one fight where he got big value, or also outside of some of those times where KT kind of walked into it face first. But when KT had a full build Rise, essentially just shooting skill shots, and they actually didn't have to commit, they could play around some of that terrain for the Zeri, it was really easy to win team fights straight up. And like the game
As you guys can see the huge swing once we hit about 30 minutes into this game. Just became a bit too much. Loved the build from Feisty. He was just absolutely dunking on people. Absolutely could win it here. Wasn't my vote, but could see him being the one.
He is who I voted for, but I think your vote for the support was a good call. We don't know what the vote count is. We don't do that here, but this is a smaller team, so it would be pretty obvious who voted for whom if we did. I like to keep it a little bit anonymous. Not for the global side on the LCK. Definitely, it's like 100% known who did it, but the other side's a little bit it's a little bit more anonymous. Yeah, I thought he was the one who did turn this game around, and if he had positioned poorly or